I'm not going to do it. I said I'm not going to do it.
Hey, are you recording?
Hey, stay away from me. Stay away from me. I'm not screwing around. Stay away from me. Hey, you stay away from me. Stay the fuck away from me.
You know, it's illegal.
It's not illegal to record people. Hey, hey, hey. I'm not getting in a fight with you, stupid. I got a gun on my hip. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck back. I am just trying to make sure nobody gets hurt. You do not come after me. Don't come any closer. Get the fuck away from me.
All right, we're all
Get back in your car. Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, first tell you the book.
Get the fuck away from me, stupid. Don't come any closer.
I'm right here, buddy. You don't shoot me.
Nick, just go. We're done.
Get in the fucking car. I don't want to hurt nobody. I'm telling you. Get the fuck away from me, man.
Please delete that video. You have no reason to
I don't want to fucking show anybody anything. Officer, I'm putting it down. I'm putting it down. I'm putting it down. I swear to God, man, these guys came after me.
All right, that is some compelling video. Welcome to CopBlockRadio. We're live tonight, this Wednesday, May 13th, 2015, and live in studio here at Peace News Studios is Chris Cantwell.
Good to be with you, Bunny.
Good to be with you, and I'm glad you're alive after what we just watched.
Yeah, I'm glad the last portion of that video was not gunshots and me dying.
So were you convinced by the woman screaming, "Please delete that video"?
I was pretty certain that at that point, it was going to get deleted.
So what the hell? So you swear to God these guys came after you. When the police arrived, they were actually they diffused the situation. They de-escalated things.
Yeah, certainly. So as I've explained on other venues already, I mean, I was in a situation where some folks came after me and I had to pull out my gun to avoid them getting the gun from me. And as the police arrived, I was pretty well convinced that I was about to die because I am, of course, the author of Violently Overthrow the Government, and I have a gun pointed at people on the street, and there are now police here.
And the cops in Keene know who you are. They know what you've written. They probably read your blog.
Yeah, they're entirely well aware of who I am. And Tony Stiles sort of taken a quote from me in that video when I said, "I know that I have not been the kindest in terms of police accountability, but
yeah, but it's probably lucky for you that they knew who you were, though." So
yeah, certainly. So I mean, they were extraordinarily good about it. Not only did they not kill me, they didn't even draw down on me. And they de-escalated the situation. I said, "Can I take your gun?" I said, "Yes, of course you could take my gun." And "Can I pet your pockets?" "Yes, of course." And I
love it how he's like, "Oh yeah, do you got anything else on you?" "Well, no, but oh yeah, but maybe the pepper." "Oh yeah, and this." "Oh yeah, and this." Oh yeah, and that 38 in my back pocket." "Yeah." "Oh, and oh yeah, I got a boot knife too."
So yeah, I had a couple of instruments on me that the police might find interesting, but it wasn't nothing illegal, of course. And so he said when he was doing that, when he's patting my pockets, he hears one of my assailants is actually getting loud with the other officer, and he asked me to just sit over on the curb and relax. And he went over to deal with that situation before coming back over and talking with me more.
How many cops arrived? It was 2 cars?
I believe it was just the 2 cops. The situation is a tad hazy for me, if I'm entirely honest with you. I was in survival mode at that point. But I think it was just the 2. And I mean, they approached the scene of a violent crime, and they were calm about it. Not even just that they treated me fairly. I was like, wow, I'm surprised at how well these guys sort of maintain their composure.
Would you have been concerned? Like, I typically have weed on me, so like, would you have been concerned if you had something illicit?
If I was carrying drugs or something like that, yeah, I'd be very scared, because police are in the habit of throwing people in prison for doing that sort of thing. Yeah, luckily, I'm not. My drug of choice is sold by the state of New Hampshire. I don't have to worry about such things.
Yeah, I'm banned.
He takes their drugs,
so I won't be enjoying that. But so biggest takeaway from this, you've done a lot of talking about this incident. You've blogged about it at ChristopherCantwell.com. What are some of your fairest critiques where people are like detractors who don't like this? I've done a lot of talking with some of the freedom fiends, people like Ben Stone and MK Lords. They're always going to hate you,
Right?
no matter what. And they're like, he shouldn't have gotten involved. And that's sort of what I was getting at when I asked you on Freedom Fiends. Were you being a white knight in this situation? Were you stepping in where you didn't belong?
Well, I don't completely object to the white knight term, because like I am responding to a situation where I think women are being victimized. I am a man. I am a 220-pound trained fighter with a handgun, and I go to assist people who are being victimized by people who are stronger than them. And
not just any people, though. Women. Like, you wouldn't have helped guys, right?
Well, I'm not entirely sure of that, but I'm certainly don't have like the instinctual drive to do it as much if it's another man. But I protect citizens from cops and the productive from the predatory. That's sort of my thing. And so, women are, when I hear distressed female voices, I have a physiological reaction to that I feel compelled to act on.
I want to point out, a lot of people have said you're lucky that you weren't shot. Luck had nothing to do with it. I mean, maybe a little bit, but you moved to New Hampshire because it's a place where people respect firearms, for one thing, one of many reasons why you moved to New Hampshire. So it's not like if this had happened in New York, we all know how it would have gone down differently. But in New Hampshire, the police kind of respected you.
Yeah, I mean, the police, I don't know if it rises to a level of respect, but the police here know that we are not in the habit of victimizing people. They know that if I'm pointing a gun at drunk people on the street, that it's probably something that they did, right? Like they have responded to situations where we're following people around with cameras, that sort of thing. I've even antagonized the police, but they know that we're not in the habit of, trying to harm the innocent. And so when they appear and they see me with the gun, they were more concerned with my attackers than they were with me, right? They're trying to address that situation. When you hear me say, I'm putting it down, I'm putting it down, I'm putting it down, these guys are not drawing down on me. They're dealing with the threat to my safety, but I'm afraid of them because, I don't know what's going to happen. And so, I'm putting the gun down and just making them, aware of it. And I think that my quickness in putting the gun down and putting my hands up had a little bit to do with them not striking me down.
So what do you think that Cop Block listeners would want to know about this situation?
Well, there's kind of an infinite number of things that you could take away from it, but I would say to be very careful out there. I mean, there's the bad things can happen when you're out, recording, especially at night. The truth about guns said, who was it that said nothing good happens after 2 a.m.? A lot of people, right? So, and to the valid critiques you asked about, Truth About Guns was saying, hey, average gun owner, you should not do this, right? Because you go out looking for trouble, you just might find it. That's a valid critique. I'd say most gun owners, probably not the thing that you want to do. But, if you're somebody who is, in the business of fighting evil, well, then you're going to have to confront some evil out there, and you will want to be able to protect yourself.
It's certainly a good argument for an armed society is a polite society. That's for sure.
This video has gone pretty viral. It's over 600,000 views already in the past 3 days.
Yep.
Congratulations.
And
yeah, it's getting around out there. I mean, it's spread through, obviously cop blocking communities and gun rights communities. It's all over the place. So,
man. I'm just taking a deep breath. I got nothing.
It was funny. I mean, I had asked Lauren Rumpler to come out to my studio to do a show. We were going to talk about polyamory. And, you go through a situation like this, it sort of changes your perspective on things. I was going to take a pro-monogamy approach, and she gets into the studio, and I'm like, if I'm honest, I don't care anymore. Go fuck whoever you want. I'm just glad that I'm alive and didn't have to kill anybody.
Yeah. What happened to those guys in the video? Were they arrested?
They were not. The police told me they were taking one of them into PC, which I guess is like protective custody.
It's a drunk tank, basically.
Yeah, the guy was, not sane, approaching him. He's advanced on me while I had a gun pointed at him, and so, this guy was not of sound mind, and they took him into custody. But I told the police I didn't want them to do anything to these guys. ChristopherCantwell.com. I'm glad you're alive, man. Thanks for being on Top Block Radio tonight. I know you've had a busy 3 hours. You've been on Free Talk Live yakking about this situation. Thanks for giving us another 10 minutes. Thanks for
having me. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Yep.
When we come back, we'll be talking about Tyler. He was vindicated, and we're going to have him on the show. So stay tuned. Plus, Dio gets high.
Of course.
our satellite signal back
see you,
on
man.
in
Thanks for
Africa.
being on.
Our satellite provider had us on at no charge from 2012 through February of this year when they pulled the channel off the air. Now we're trying to raise $22,000 to continue reaching people with the message of liberty in places where it's needed most. Please visit our Indiegogo fundraiser at africa.lrn.fm. Give what you can and share the link with your friends. africa.lrn.fm. What if the key to achieving liberty in your lifetime was to move together with others who think like you? Liberty activists are joining the Free State Project, which is over 70% of the way to its goal of 20,000 participants. And they're already making the move to New Hampshire. The successes are piling up and are proving the Free State Project is a real movement and no longer just a great idea. When you're planning your move, consider Keene. Keene is famous for its civil disobedience and non-cooperation, and there's plenty of political opportunity as well. From demonstrations and vigils to outreach and volunteering, there's a lot going on in Keene. Keene is the liberty media capital of the world, with television, talk radio, and more, all originating here. Though it's more than just activism, with regular social...
Yeah, so sorry about that. Wow, it's all dark again. What the hell? What do I need to do?
You made it dark for your complexion.
I know, but now I gotta fix it. Too dark. I think, there we go. Brightness. Brighten me up. Do.
It's DOIF.
Isn't that funny?
Of course, man. I have a medical condition.
Is he awake?
I have a medical condition.
Yeah, don't we all?
No, really, I do.
Kudos to Derek J for having Cantwell on the Fiends. You're welcome, Howie. It was my pleasure. Really, it was a once-in-a-lifetime, stars-aligned type situation. I don't think Michael Dean would have approved of that at all had my regular co-host not suddenly lost power.
Well, kudos for getting him on here, too. Appreciate that.
You know, there's one of the cool things about living in Keene.
It is. You can get anybody.
I'm like, hey, Rich Paul, get over here. Be on the show.
Just go downstairs, see who's hanging out.
Seriously, that's what it is. Like, Rich Paul was just knocking on my door saying, like, oh, can you help out with something? And I'm, no, not right now.
You come on the show, though, Rich.
He could if he wants. Now I'm chewing into the microphone. I hope you all enjoy this.
Why don't you could play the video, right? Why don't you play the store commercial?
The Cantwell video? Or the,
No,
yeah. I'll play that.
That'd take up a minute or two.
Good point. Of course, now I'm not ready with it. Video. Store commercial. Okay. I download, open with, how do I download? Download. CopBlock.org/store to get cool gear like this. This Who Owns You shirt.
And this, and this, this.
Yes.
Shiny badge is now available.
I think it's something that makes you a little bit safer because it makes you stand out. It shows the police sort of what you're doing. They're wearing a uniform, and I'm not suggesting that cop blockers wear a uniform, but it does help to differentiate, like, what are people doing on this scene? I think it makes the police feel a little more comfortable with people recording them. New shiny badge. All right, we're back.
Cast.lrn.fm.
Who's that? CopBlockRadio. That's my new. Yes. Do you like it?
I like it.
Hey, we got Derek J here in Peace News Studios, Keene, New Hampshire, bringing you the latest from CopBlock.org with
Dio, live from Cleveland.
Yeah, man. And we are holding it down tonight for LRN.FM. You can call in and share your thoughts on anything cop related. Our Skype address is CopBlockRadio. spelled just like it sounds. And our call-in number is 413-418-COPS. And I really don't like repeating that number, so I think I'm just going to do it that one time. And if you tune in late, sorry. You'll be able to figure it out from the bottom of the screen, or just go to CopBlock.org, man. It's that easy.
First caller gets this here set of stickers.
Yeah, man. We got stickers. That's the thing you've been missing in your life. So we got a bunch of stories coming up, Dio. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the things that you've got in our show prep?
Yeah, we got Tyler Paxton and his mom is supposed to be calling in hopefully in a few minutes here. Actually, we're waiting on him. Call in, Christina. Tyler, call in now, please.
Oh, did they call in? Someone named Larry tried calling in. Is that them? I don't think that's them.
I don't think so.
I didn't take the call because we were talking to Cantwell, but should I try calling Larry back?
Yeah, see if we can get Larry on the phone. Let's see what happens.
Oh, no answer. All right.
We're gonna run it loose tonight.
But we also got a story I wanted to share of an NYPD cop tries to molest a woman. The friend films, and the cop assaults and assaults and kidnaps the guy who films. I'm only laughing because it's like, come on, you live in New York City. This is totally predictable. Get out of there if you love freedom.
There's been a lot of controversy lately about the police not allowing videotaping of incidents. This is a video from March 12th, 2014, but the video was released within the last hour. There was no audio, so I thought I would narrate the events the best I could. This is Jason DeSisto, and he's just hanging out talking with his buddies, and then his friend comes and walks up and decides to have a cigarette. An officer sees this and comes and starts asking her questions and starts touching her, and he doesn't like that. He gets his buddy's camera because he says he's going to videotape what's going on because he doesn't like what he's seeing. Instantly, the other officer just doesn't like this at all and decides to take matters in his own hands. This is another angle, the same situation. Now, the officer says that DeSisto lunged and tried punching at him, but it's clear from both angles that that did not happen.
This is another situation where video vindicates a victim of police brutality. This is happening more and more. Even though this was released almost over a year after this incident
Here's the
happened.
third angle, same situation.
Justice is slow, but video helps. And look, there are multiple angles.
He just asks his friend for his phone.
It's in video.
He tells him
I mean,
he's going to videotape it because he doesn't like what he's seeing. He just wants to make sure nothing happens and
see, that's probably his mistake. Don't tell him you're video recording. You don't need to.
DeSisto. They then arrest him, put him in the back of the car.
Yeah. See, he wouldn't have ended up arrested if the cops didn't know he was recording. He could have been texting over there or whatever. I mean, God forbid, it shouldn't have intervened. I mean, that's what
if you notice,
a moral person would do.
After the officer gets in the car,
killed.
His window's rolled down. He takes the cell phone, throws it out the window, breaking the cell phone.
Wow.
Classy move there.
Yeah. So we just had Christina on the line. I don't know why she just dropped off.
Oh, did she?
Come on, call back. We need.
Yeah, call back.
There she is.
Alrighty.
Hey, Christina, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
We're good.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
Are you in an echo chamber?
Oh, shoot. We got to move, don't we? Okay.
No, you sound fine.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay, must be mine.
So what you got? Good news.
This is Christina Croft, Tyler Paxton's mom, and she's got good news about Tyler's case.
Let us have it.
Yes, I do. Tyler was found not guilty of assault on a police officer.
Boy, that is fantastic news.
Yes.
When did this happen?
This was last Wednesday, actually. So it's been a week.
So what's going to happen to the cops who lied now?
Well, I actually tried to talk to the chief of Lima Police about that, and he said no comment. He's been told not to speak with me. So, yeah, we'll just have to pursue it ourselves.
So
How?
you're,
How do you do
What's
that?
Well, I've spoken with Tyler's lawyer, and basically, at this point, we have to wait the 30-day appeal period, and then we can go forward with charges and civil suits and things of that nature.
Wait, you have to wait up an appeal period? I thought there is an appeal period, like a window where you can't wait. You have to do it between that time, and then if you wait too long, it's too late.
besides, wouldn't you be the one to appeal as opposed to them being the ones to appeal?
Right. They have the right to appeal. Prosecution has a right to appeal the verdict.
When the hell did that shit start?
But that,
I said, when the hell did that shit start?
I don't know, but that's what he said, and I can't imagine them being stupid enough to appeal, a case that they lost so badly.
And so quickly.
I'm having a hard time understanding. So the prosecutors brought up charges against Tyler saying that he assaulted a police officer. He was
Correct.
found not guilty. And the prosecutors are like, well, we don't buy that. That's not a good enough decision. This judge is just no good. We got to take it up to a higher court. We're going to appeal this. We're going to make sure that he is found guilty at a higher court.
Apparently, that's a choice that they have.
It's not that way because it was 12 jurors.
Yeah, I mean, the trial was by jury, not by judge. But
Is Tyler there?
yes, he is.
How you doing, Tyler?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. Has the lawyer advised you not to talk to media?
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, I figured they usually do that. Well, what can you tell us? Is there anything that he said, or he or she said that you can say?
I mean, all I really have to say is I want justice for what was done, and I'm not going to settle for anything less.
What does that look like?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Justice look like?
What's justice look like? I mean, in the courts, they usually don't give the cops much of anything in the way of punishment.
Well, I would like the officers to be charged with.
Well, hold that thought, Tyler. We're going to a break. When we come back, I want to hear what you want to happen to these police officers. And really, they're just men and women with badges, right? So what do you want to happen to these people who have charged you with a crime? We'll be right back.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day.
Okay, we got a 4-minute break here, Tyler and Christina. I'm really glad to hear both of your voices. I'm glad that you're doing well. I'm glad to hear about the verdict. I'm not glad to hear that the prosecutor decided to appeal. It seems like they just want to keep dragging this thing on.
No, he didn't appeal. They have 30 days to appeal if they want to.
Oh, I see. All right.
I don't understand that at all.
Why
I
not?
really don't understand that at all.
It's
Because
like-
how do they have a chance to appeal? They're charging you with a crime. If you don't isn't there something where you can't be charged with the same crime twice?
You're not
Doesn't
charged
that
with the same crime twice. Appeal means that you're taking it to a higher court.
I don't think they can. I don't think they can because when I was in trial, the judge read the charges are thrown out of court, and I'm not guilty for assault on any officer.
Yeah, but that's just what one judge said. That was a district, right?
Yeah, that's what I guess what I'm thinking is that it's a higher court would look at it and go, "Are you fucking kidding me?" and just toss it. I guess I'm taking that for granted that happens so much that it's that I just don't realize that happens, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same for a defendant as it is a prosecutor. If you don't like a judge's decision, you can appeal to a higher court. Sounds like that's what's happening here, or what could
The
happen.
only thing is it was a jury trial. So, I mean, the judge didn't make the verdict. It was a 12, jury of his peers. So I guess it's just a step that we have to wait on. I would think that the sucked anyway.
Yeah, because it's Judge Cheney. And
Hey, I'm
Not
getting a
guilty.
lot of dropouts from you guys.
Yeah,
Are you
me too.
no?
Can you hear me?
Yes, but I'm getting a lot of dropouts. If you can, get closer to whatever connection you're on.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
All right.
Let's try that.
But after I was found not guilty in the trial, the judge walked behind the courtroom and came out in the hallway when everybody left the room and already got down the stairs out of the courtroom. And he came up and shook my hand and told me congratulations and told me to stay out of trouble and good luck. So I'm assuming he meant good luck towards getting
Stay out of
justice.
trouble. Stay out of trouble. You weren't causing any trouble in the first fucking place.
You gotta save
It was them
face.
assholes.
Yeah, well, I take that as he's just being nice, like stay out of trouble, don't be in here again, you know what I mean?
Well, tell your officers not to be dragging my ass in here again, and then I won't be in here again. You know?
Yeah, well, I'll avoid the trouble anyway, but I've never heard of a judge shaking anybody's hand after court.
I've never heard of that either. That's you gotta say that on air.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're coming back in 30 seconds.
Right now.
I want to hear, what do you want to happen to these cops? And by the way, if there's anything that you feel like you can't say, don't worry about it. It's cool.
All right.
You could also let Christina talk for you too, because I don't think she could get in trouble for saying anything.
Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna do for the radio.
All right, that's fair.
All right, nice talking to you, man.
Likewise.
Be safe out
Glad to hear about the decision.
Right on, man.
Can't wait to hear about them getting their asses prosecuted.
You
There
can
we
connect
go.
with the Liberty Radio Network via our Facebook page at facebook.lrn.fm. That's facebook.lrn.fm.
CopBlockRadio. We're talking with Tyler Paxton and his mom, Christina, and they just heard some very good news that Tyler was found not guilty by a jury of 12 for the so-called crime of assaulting a police officer. Well, turns out
He did assault shit.
it was shit. Did they, was it a unanimous decision? Doesn't it have to be with a jury, Christina?
It does. It started out a 10 jurors not guilty to 2 guilty.
Huh.
After they went back into the courtroom and watched the audio and video, it became unanimous.
Are you kidding me? They didn't watch the audio and video to begin with? That should have been day one.
Yep. They kept that hidden.
Mother effers. How could they do that? What was that, suppressed evidence or something? What was their justification for not showing the video? That's the most objective evidence you could have.
They didn't have any. They wouldn't tell me why they wouldn't release the videos.
What happened in court, though? Did they just come in and go, okay, case dismissed, or was there any fight whatsoever? Or?
Oh no, it started Monday the 4th. It took all day to pick jurors, and then part of the morning Tuesday to pick jurors. All day, the rest of the day Tuesday was the prosecutor, calling his witnesses, which was all of the policemen. That was all they had. And then Wednesday was the defense. And then by Wednesday at 7:30, they had a not guilty plea.
Wow, that's pretty quick. So it took more time to choose the jurors than it actually took to conduct the trial. Hey,
Right,
what sort of questions were they asking these prospective jurors? That's called voir dire, right? Where they they try and bounce some of the people like, oh, hey, do you suck the dicks of any cops? Oh, yes, you do. Great. Be on the jury. Here, we need you.
Right. It was actually, they really didn't ask many questions. They talked a lot about Baltimore and how hard the police have it now.
Aha.
I am not kidding you.
Yep.
That's
crazy, man.
Yeah, no, you know what they're trying to do. They're positioning.
Yeah.
Trying to get these people in minds thinking that these cops were facing the same kind of assaults that the people in Baltimore, the cops in Baltimore are facing.
Mm-hmm.
That's bullshit.
That is big time bullshit.
Where did this case happen?
In Lima.
Lima, Ohio.
which is very far from Baltimore. So
Yeah.
bringing up Baltimore
Nightmare.
makes no sense.
Yes, and every single potential juror that was black was dismissed by prosecution.
Why?
I don't know.
Are you black? Is Tyler black?
No, we're white.
So why would, I mean, what does color have anything to do with any of this?
I don't know. I kind of had the feeling that it had something to do with all of the black people that are being abused and shot dead in their tracks by the police.
Oh, okay. Actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So they're like, oh, well, this person's black. They might be against the police.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, they might have good reason to be against the police.
For real.
Okay. So they tried to stack the jury against you. It didn't matter. The jury still found you not guilty. And it was a jury of 10, you say, which is like
12.
It was oh, okay. I see. It was 10 who
10 and 2,
originally said not guilty, and then 2 said guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Did you get a read on any of them while you were watching the trial? Were they sort of nodding their heads or smiling during any of the testimony?
Yes, I did get a chance to read their faces. A lot of the times when the prosecutor would say something or was questioning, I got looks of what the hell? basically.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And they looked at me a lot. They looked at me a lot because there was plenty of times where I was going, what the hell? And there was a couple times I had to walk out of the courtroom because I was so pissed because of the blatant lies.
Did he get offered a plea deal?
No.
Really? Wow. Okay. Why do you think that is?
Dude.
I think they thought that we were going to cave because they asked his attorney 3 different times if we had an offer. And Tyler's attorney's answer was, no, we don't have an offer. The only offer I have is for you to drop the charges.
Yeah.
So I think they thought we would cave.
They're not, Derek. They're not. They're also Lima police right now are also like doing a lot of like they're deleting comments on the Facebook page and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Virgil Viduva said
He did
be filing a whatever it is, a Freedom of Information Act request or the equivalent in Ohio. So
Yes.
get
Yes.
their deleted comments sent to him. That's amazing. I mean, how did they even do that? Do they even know how? That seems pretty technical.
I don't know.
I'm not sure I would know how.
Right. They delete it if they don't like the comment or if it's anti-police or pro-Tyler specifically, they're deleting them.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Yeah, and I have been banned. I've been banned from that site. They beat the crap out of my son.
Which is not really. I don't think that's legal on account of that. Like, they're running like a government website, you know, sort of, or government social media site or whatever it is. So they're not supposed to be banning like citizens that are just critical of their tactics and stuff like that. So
right.
There's something else going to be happening about that as well. But I mean, the point being is that Lima police are just balls to the wall on this. They're sticking to their guns, even though they're like, they've been caught in the bed with the bitch and they're still going, wasn't me. You know what I mean? Seriously.
Hey, who was the judge in this case? Do you know his name?
Judge Cheney. David Cheney.
Do you have any experience with this judge in the past?
No, never.
What was his read on the situation? I know he didn't get to have any input because it was a jury trial, but did he say anything?
Not to me. I don't know if he said anything to Tyler's attorney, but I noticed some of his facial expressions actually in the trial as well, where I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't think he likes what the prosecution's doing either. And some of the things that the police officers testified to, I had the greatest seat in the courtroom. I could see everybody. And sometimes the look on his face, I'm like, he's really wondering what the hell's going on here.
Yeah. So I have a picture of Tyler after the beating that's up on the screen for folks to see at copblock.org/show. Did the jury get to see this picture?
Yes, the jury got to see actually the picture that was taken in the hospital, which is 10 times worse than the pictures I have on Justice for Tyler.
Wow. And did they see any pictures of the police? Did they have some cuts and scrapes on their knee? Some boo-boos?
Yeah, there was a little scrape under one of his eyes. And it was classic, the look on the faces of the jurors when they put those up on the screen.
He had like a little scratch on his arm or whatnot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The bunk beds were a horrible idea. Why did you let us do that?
So I want to be clear, some of the folks in the chat room aren't sure. The cops did this to Tyler?
Yes, they did.
Yes.
And for what? What was their justification? What did they say? That they were in a tussle? There was a...
They claimed that they claimed that he assaulted them. Yes.
Okay.
They claim, well, actually, what happened was this Nate Garlock walked up to Tyler. They were actually there on a separate call. There was a call about a party in the street. Tyler and his friend were in the back getting ready to go to a friend's house for the night. And this one officer approached Tyler and said, "What are you doing?" Tyler answers him. He said, "How old are you?" Tyler answered him. He said, "Have you been drinking?" Tyler answered him. And he said, "I'm done being harassed. I'm not answering any more questions. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm going in." And the cop grabbed him and slammed him down, and that's all she wrote.
I want to know what sort of takeaways you had from this experience. I mean, the fact that he answered the cop in the first place seems to me a mistake. I'm not saying Tyler's a bad guy or that he's stupid. I'm saying a lot of people want to answer a person when you ask them a question. That's a human nature thing. But when it's a cop, maybe you shouldn't. We'll be right back. This is Cop Block Radio. Yeah, so we've got another 4-minute break. Would you like to stay with us? I've got more questions.
Yeah, I think she got the question wrong when she was saying what she said last. But the police were just pretty much saying, like, well, 3 of the police, Nate Garlock got on the stand and was saying, like, that I tried to resist and run into the house, and he said he yanked me off the porch. Or yanked me off the step and slammed me on the ground, and he said that I tried to get up, and my assault to him was supposedly my hand coming up and backhanded him in the face when he was on top of my back.
Is there any video of the situation? You said that they showed some video during court.
Yeah, there's some video of, well, there's an audio of.
It's mostly audio.
You can really hear half of it. You can hear the first, like the beginning of what's going on, and then as soon as the scuffle starts happening, everything just cuts out. You can't hear anything at all. And then
you know what I find interesting about it, because I watched that video and listened to the audio and stuff. And what's interesting about it is that, like, you can hear at the moment when, like, the officer starts to get physical and shit like that, right? And when he does, you can hear him, like, say, I think it was "stop resisting," right?
Yeah.
That was like the first thing he said, right? And then, like, when he said, like, almost immediately when he said that, as if it was almost like a signal to the other guy that was in the camera frame, he come running out of the camera frame to where the guy was beating on him already. So it was almost like, stop resisting means drop what you're doing and come help me. You know what I mean? No, seriously, that's what it seemed like it was when you watch it and put it together like that, right? And it's interesting because then you can also tell the attitude of the officers by the way they fucking, I mean, like, you don't see them hog tie him, but when they hog tie him and then they, like, toss him in the fucking back of the car, like, it's a toss. It's not like a let's make sure he's in there good, you know. It's like fucking just like, here, take this, you fuck. You know,
they actually slammed my shoes and my toes in the door.
It looked like they slammed it afterwards, like, harder. You know,
it wasn't. They weren't sticking out, but they were in between the interior and the seats and stuff, just pinned.
Right. I mean, so, like, it's like I said, the Limas, they're going balls to the wall with the sticking with the story shit on this one. So I can't wait to see when it blows up in their fucking faces.
Yeah. The sergeants of the shift were saying that when they got up to the situation that everything was already handled and I was handcuffed and I was just being belligerent and trying to throw myself everywhere at the officers and everything else, and pretty much said that they had to get on top of me too and they were just lying out their ass. Each officer had a different story.
Yeah, they said that because it's the way I read that, it sounded like they were saying that you was belligerent and stuff like that, like when you was in the car. And what I saw with you in the car was just fucking laying there in fucking pain.
They actually sent the doctor that took care of me in the hospital. They sent him a subpoena to come into the court and testify.
Mm.
And the only thing that they told him to do and said that he can do, I'm pretty sure, told him he can only read. But they gave him the police's statements that they wrote at the hospital.
Hey, hold that thought. We're coming back.
All right.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with a chip in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
7 Lima cops brutally beat 19-year-old Tyler Paxson to unconsciousness and then had the gall to charge him with the crime of assault. He was recently found not guilty by a jury of his peers. 12 jurors said not guilty. Send this boy home. I want to know how much this cost in legal fees.
I'm pretty sure it costed $900.
No, it wasn't $900.
Yeah, have to look it up.
That seems pretty cheap.
Yeah, it was around like $900.
I mean, I'm not saying
for it.
that's not. I mean, any dollar you have to spend defending yourself against false imprisonment is it is too much. Is $1 too much? But $900 as far as legal fees goes, you got a lot of mileage out of that.
Well, that was just
by way of comparison, there's lawyers that have taken $26,000 from the Rice family, supposedly, for legal fees for Tamir Rice's family.
Yeah, I don't really want to say how much I had to pay my lawyer.
I want to know, what about hospital bills, medical bills? Are they going to cover that stuff?
It was $4,000, and I'm gonna have to mention something.
What?
I'm gonna have to mention it in the civil suit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And not just that, but lost time. I mean, were you out of work for all of this? You've got
it was probably about 7 months.
Yeah, I mean that's not cheap. I mean, that's money you could have been making if you were able to live your life like a normal human being, unmolested by these so-called protectors. I mean, So are you associated or affiliated in any way with any cop block groups in your area, or did Cop Block just sort of jump on the scene once this happened to you?
Mama Christina is the admin of Lima Allen County Cop Block, man.
And she was already, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, she wasn't.
Before this happened, she wasn't?
Well, she is now, and that's what counts.
Well, I want to know, like, it was because of that you were a target. I'm wondering, because Ohio has a real serious cop block scene going on. You guys do it the best. I mean, hands down, there's no way. What's that?
We weren't involved in any cop block or any cop thing before the situation happened.
Were you
they didn't really even know me because I live in a town that's 15 minutes away from Lima. It's country, so I don't ever see them. So it was honestly just a pick and pull.
You got one of these now, right? You got one of these now, right? You got a badge now? You got a Cop Block badge now?
Yeah.
Do you have any pictures of the supposed assault on the police officer? What his face looked like with the little scrape under his eye?
We didn't see that picture until just before court.
I want to see that. Is there some way you can get that?
They're rat hole in that. Come on now.
No, I mean, now that it's been admitted as evidence in court, you would think that's something that's public now. I mean, it's a public trial, wasn't it?
I believe so, yes.
It should be public record for
Is there
the trial,
Is
definitely.
there any video of the trial?
There is on Justice for Tyler on Facebook. I think it's one of the first videos by Your News Now. I have it posted on Justice for Tyler that does show the pictures of Tyler in the hospital and the cop, his quote unquote injury.
Wow. And I'm there now. I'm at the Justice for Tyler Facebook page, which you can go to facebook.com/justice for Tyler, spelled just as it sounds. It's got the image of Tyler's face so badly bruised and beaten. What is this? Wow. I just can't even believe how badly he was beaten. It was 7 police officers on him. They charged him with assault. Is there anything?
Burns your ass, right?
Huh, Dio?
I said it burns your ass, right?
It does. I mean, I can't even believe. I mean, I know that if I weren't here talking to you guys, I wouldn't be able to believe it. I'm in total shock. Have any other people who've been victims of police abuse come forward to you and shared their story?
They have, ever since this happened and I became proactive with Justice for Tyler and CopBlock. I've had several people in Lima come to me and tell me their stories, and we've tried to get them out there and help them any way we can. But there's a lot, and it's mainly with third shift.
What do you mean? It's in the middle of the night, or it's third shift police officers?
Third shift police officers.
Huh. I wonder what that's about. Like Chris Cantwell earlier on the show was saying nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
No.
My father used to tell me that all the time, too.
Guess that goes for the cops, too. Well, I want to know what sort of takeaways you've learned from this experience. It's not like you did anything wrong. I say not talking to the cops would be one takeaway. Like, unless
recording them would be another one.
Yeah, right. Recording, and unless they suspect you of committing a crime, zip the lip. Man, you got nothing to say to them. You've got no obligation to answer their questions. As friendly as it is to do, as much of a nice thing it is to do to another human being, answer their questions like a person. These are cops, and they are there to find and prosecute criminals. So they're not your friend, unfortunately.
Right. And I think Tyler learned that quickly. You know, when his last word was, "I'm tired of being harassed. I'm not doing anything wrong."
Yeah.
And he was attacked. You know, for the longest time, he was in fear of the police after that happened. It took me quite a while to get him to realize that you need video, because he was stopped, you know, pulled over several times after the incident, just for no reason.
And further harassed.
Intimidation, yeah. Attempted intimidation.
Tyler, you got to have Bamboozer. I'm telling you now, if you don't have it already, I'll show you what it is. I don't know if you can see us on the screen or anything, but I keep it right on the main page here, and it's one push button, and you're ready to live stream. It connects to Facebook so that anyone who is your Facebook friend or follows you on social media, it gets pushed out so they see your live stream, and right away they can go and watch your video and chat with you, interact while you're recording. So if something is going down, like the police are harassing you, you can say, "Hey, bud, you know, I got 1,000 people watching you right now, so you better choose your words carefully and leave me alone."
All right.
Yep.
Free app.
I got mine.
You got nothing to lose.
I got mine right on my homepage.
Yeah, he's going to get it on his phone.
Everyone, not just Tyler, anyone listening to this broadcast, if you don't have something that can live stream, something to record video, you're shooting yourself in the foot before you even get started. There's no reason not to have this in 2015. Well, we know how the police act. When we know that video vindicates these bad actors, and now I want to see you go on the offensive. I'd like to see what happens to these police officers now that they have been found to have been lying. I want to know, what does justice look like? Are they going to be fired? Are they going to be charged with crimes? Are they going to jail?
That's what we want. We want them held accountable, charged with the crimes of assault and false arrest and perjury.
Well, perjury gets you 7 years, doesn't it?
I would hope so.
I'm pretty sure perjury is a 7-year punished. That's the punishment for it.
I don't normally advocate for jail. I think that jails are horrible places, and there's really nothing good that can come of them. But what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And if these police like sending peaceful people to jail, I think they ought to experience it themselves for a few years.
I do too.
I'm just saying, as a matter of fact,
I don't think they should ever be able to work as police officers again. And
that should be the least of their problems, is looking for work. I mean, I hear that sexual predators get it pretty bad in jail, but I imagine cops get it even worse.
No, they don't, because they get protected. They get put in protective custody as soon as they go in.
Yeah, well,
Really?
that shouldn't happen to them. Hopefully there's someone good in that jail who's going to say, I know what happened. I know what you guys did, you punks. Because there is a disconnect between jailers and cops. They're not all the same,
No.
What was the jail experience like? Was Tyler sent to jail?
He actually did spend a week in jail because he violated his bond. He had a urinalysis test positive for marijuana. Yeah. Oh my God. So they put him in jail for a week. Actually, he was supposed to stay in jail until trial date, but his attorney called Judge Cheney. Judge Cheney said, let him out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's been incredible speaking with you. Congratulations on the fantastic news. Once again, it's facebook.com/justice for Tyler, and justice has just begun to be served. I want to follow up on this story in a month or two when we see Tyler go on the offensive against these cops, so peacefully, of course, in court, all proper methods. This has been CopBlock Radio.
Free Talk Live.
Hey, thank you so much, Christina and Tyler. It was great chatting with you.
Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
absolutely, man.
Time. Thank you so much, and thanks for carrying this forward.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes, absolutely. Speak to you again soon.
Okay, thanks.
Wow, just incredible. What an amazing story. We will be back with more CopBlock Radio in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. When we come back, who do we have, Dio?
We got Dylan Donnelly is going to be calling in like 15 minutes, but we could do a couple stories before that if you'd like to. I want to read actually because Pete Air wrote something up. So
I mean, he's back.
He just wrote something up, so I'd be interested to. I want to read it and maybe read it on the air and whatnot.
Mars?
Is it just in a Wi-Fi lobby somewhere?
Jeebus Christmas! I haven't heard from that guy in forever. I thought he fell off the face of the earth.
I know.
Well, I'm glad. Okay, so he wrote something. Was it at CopBlock?
Yes, CopBlock.org.
How did I miss it? I think I saw something about that, but I didn't even believe it was him. I thought maybe someone was reposting something 2 years ago. Yeah, seriously. Someone's ghostwriting for him. Oh,
well, from what I understand, and some more good news on the Pete front is that from what I understand, he and Amanda have entered into like a civil union of some sort or something.
What?
I'm not 100% sure about that, but there's like I don't know what it is exactly that they did, but it's like some type of civil union type marriage type situation.
I'm trying to pull up a "Here Comes the Bride" song.
Oh, I'm happy for him. There's two good kids. They deserve each other. They're perfect for each other. I love the both of them very much. Wish them all the best.
Yeah, me too. I don't think I have that song. Sorry.
It's all right.
I've got a graduation song. That's pretty close.
Hey, what's that shitty music?
All right, let's play commercials. We'll be right back.
Audio
Arabia has announced a temporary halt to their airstrikes against Yemen, the beginning of what they say will be a 5-day humanitarian pause. There is skepticism, but also a lot of hope among Yemeni civilians who are hoping their cities won't be bombed over the next few days, and hoping even more that the Saudi naval blockade will begin allowing humanitarian aid into the country. While fighting picked up, particularly along the border in the hours leading up to the 11 p.m. deadline, residents of Yemeni cities have reported no incidents in the first couple of hours since. Saudi military commanders say that despite the pause, they will continue overflights of Yemen for surveillance purposes and will resume strikes if they believe the Houthis are violating the terms of the deal, which includes that none of their troops move for the next 5 days. For over 35 years, Robertson Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. UPI reports a 7.3 magnitude earthquake struck Nepal on Tuesday, just weeks after another earthquake devastated parts of the nation and killed more than 8,000 people. At least 37 people were killed and more than 1,000 injured in the town of Chatara by the latest earthquake. At least 17 also died in India and 1 in Tibet. A 6.3 magnitude aftershock followed shortly after Tuesday's quake. The earthquake occurred about 50 miles east of Kathmandu, the country's capital. The latest quake struck at a depth of 9 miles, and Nepal is still recovering from the magnitude 7.8 earthquake that struck the central part of the country on April 25th, leading to thousands of deaths and 17,000 injured. The effects of the latest quake were felt in Kathmandu, but there were no reports of significant damage there. The Save the Children charity said teams were assessing the impact on buildings that had already been damaged and told USA Today it's a terrifying time for the hundreds of thousands of children and families who lost everything in the April 25th earthquake. Meanwhile, a U.S. Marines helicopter conducted disaster relief missions in Nepal went missing on Tuesday. ExpressCoin is the best choice for buying Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and more. ExpressCoin prides themselves on their customer service, so much so that the back end on the website should allow them to...
One of the people in the chat room is hilarious. They're always in there these days. LRN newbie 218 this time. I don't know if it's always the same number or not, but he or she is always asking, "Where is Ian? Where is Ian? Where is my baby?" Like, what? I'm like, who are you? His mother? She's like, no, I'm his lover. Okay, whatever. I don't know if you're talking or not, but you are muted.
Are we eating?
Oh, you're eating? I don't want to hear that. Do you know what clopping is?
I'm assuming.
No, that's what made me think of it, but clopping is jerking off to pony porn.
What the fuck, man?
That's just a taste of what you could get on Flaming Freedom tomorrow, same time. 10 to midnight on LRN.
I'm trying to eat, man.
I play commercials.
According to prosecutors, Texas Attorney General. He then waited for Brenda and Maisha to come home. When they arrived, he bound and gagged them. According to prosecutors, he killed Maisha and sexually assaulted and strangled her mother. He pled guilty to the crime.
Damn, this is crazy. What story are we listening to?
This has been FPP.
Do you have
News.
you have a good news story when we come back? We've got a minute.
I'm gonna read that thing from Pete.
Researchers at Princeton University's Department of Sociology have made a major leap in our understanding of social interaction.
We conducted trials in 90 supermarkets across the country and found that essentially 100% of people disapproved of having a stranger hit them across the face and then expose their genitalia right in the middle of the supermarket, which we found very interesting.
Researchers observed similar
The
reactions when the
onions.
subject hurled shopping carts toward unsuspecting shoppers, stood in the deli section rubbing cold cuts against his chest, or got right near cashier's ears and began loudly singing Yankee Doodle.
In this particular trial, we have
John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
My name.
store owner police have invested, allowing us to come to the conclusion that this type of behavior is still considered at least somewhat taboo.
This is the Onion News Network.
Stop resisting. This is Cop Block Radio. Just sit back and enjoy. Hey, Dio, have you been contacted by the government? Are you safe?
I'm safe for the moment. I have not been contacted by the government. I haven't even tried to contact them.
Well, we've been contacted, in a way, by a man who hasn't seen the internet or the light of day for, seems like, years. Pete Eyre is back to blogging at CopBlock.org, at least for one article, and you've got it to share with us.
Sure. He's got 2 basic tips to stay safe during police interactions. It said, he writes, all police, whether in the USSA or North Korea, operate according to the same misguided idea that it's acceptable to steal from people in order to protect them. In other words, police claim a legal right to initiate force. It's not surprising, then, that what you see when you see a police employee in your rearview mirror or clumped with his comrades on the sidewalk, you become anxious. Fortunately, there are a couple of things you can do today to dramatically better your chances of remaining unscathed by these career criminals. Number 1 is be mentally present. Police are trained to get what they want via bullying, lying, and purposely misleading others. They're incentivized to cage peaceful people and to steal their property, claiming, I'm just doing my job, which is perhaps less a justification than a way to ease their afflicted conscience. Rather than get roped up with such thuggery, be cognizant. Don't play their game. Question their game. Your goal, especially when confronted by a police employee, as opposed to approaching a police employee on your own terms to question their harassment of someone else, is to de-escalate, to limit the duration and negative impact. The sooner you can exit the situation, the better. And I think that's very important. It's actually perfect timing to bring this up when we were just talking to Tyler about how to, about not talking to the police. So I mean, it comes very highly recommended not to do so. But if you have to remain cognizant about it.
Great tips from Pete Eyre. We have a caller from the 702 area code. Caller, go ahead. We can't hear you, caller. I'm not quite sure why. Are you talking? Give it a shot. I'll try and adjust my settings so that we can see if we can hear from you. It's probably my fault. It's probably something I've done wrong on my end, but
God damn it, Derek.
Sorry, it's always my fault. We'll just leave it at that. Hey, caller, can you hear us now? All right, sorry. We'll have to get that worked out in the next segment. I can't figure it out.
Okay.
Please continue, Dio.
Sure.
And I'll try and work out with this caller while you're chatting.
Okay. Realize before an interaction even occurs that police are used to people deferring to them. Why perpetuate such an arrangement? For more on this angle, check out the video, Want to End Police Brutality? There we go.
I don't know. We'll try it this time. Hey, caller from the
Hey,
702.
what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
That's
What
all
you
right.
got for us tonight?
Well,
You're off the
if
hook,
you want
Derek.
to
He
get
did
a
it.
jail experience, and it's not something I'm proud of, but it happens.
You went to jail? You must be a villain.
Yes, I did, and it wasn't a pleasant experience, as you can tell by the comment section. What happened was I was living with a girlfriend and 2 other roommates. It was a couple, and the one guy had a day off the same day as my girlfriend, so he would hit on her all the time. And I'd come home, and my wife, or girlfriend at the time, would tell me, "Oh, Carl was hitting on me again." So I would confront him.
Yeah.
And finally, about the third time, I said, "Hey, man, you know, you hit on my girlfriend. I just popped it. I just was a reaction. This was about 18 years ago. Yeah, I haven't been in trouble since. But
I mean, it's not my method of doing things. It's not the way I would advocate. I like using words and all, but I can't say it's unjustifiable completely. I mean, that is one way that some people learn a lesson, right? Like, I don't know, you probably didn't knock him out, right? You just like hurt him a little bit.
No, I just it was a reaction. I just hit him in the face, and he kind of crumpled to the, like where the fireplace was. There's like a brick thing, and he kind of crumpled to it and acted like his ribs are all hurt. So, of course, his girlfriend called the cops. His girlfriend called the cops on me for hitting on my girlfriend. So the cops show up, and it was a male and female, and the one cop had a real attitude. He was a younger guy, close to my age at the time, and he was like, "Oh, 6 months ago, with your attitude, I would have kicked your ass." And I was like, 6 months ago, you couldn't have kicked my ass, and you can't kick my ass today. So that just started. I mean, I was already fired up. My, adrenaline was going. So he handcuffs me and shoves me in the car. And as we're going to jail, he pulls around to the back of a building, put on some leather gloves, and he had like a remote for his window on his belt or something. And he rolled the window down and he pepper sprayed me and then punched me in the face. And I was in handcuffs in the back seat, and I was like, "Oh, that was cool. That's a real cheap shot." Well, I was in the Army about 4 years earlier and been through the CS chamber, all that stuff. So I was kind of I'm not used to the pepper spray, but I knew I could tolerate it if I just relaxed. So they get me to jail, and they put me on a bench, and the cop says to me something about my mother. "Oh, your mother really should be proud of you," or something like that. So I said, "I don't have one. Me and my friends share yours."
Oh.
So I couldn't help it. My adrenaline was fired up. I did run my mouth. He goes, "Oh, yeah?" And he disappeared around the corner. And the next thing I know, 5 jailers grabbed me, and they dragged me to this elevator, take me to the second floor, and put me in a cell, and then they just proceeded to let me have it, man. And one cop was trying to break my leg. He kept trying to so I kept trying to turn my leg so he wouldn't break it.
No, stop there, because this can't happen, because that would be illegal. So cops can't break the law. They follow the law every time. It's not a rule of man. We have a rule of law in this country, and so the story you're telling me is a complete lie. This couldn't have happened.
Right. Yeah, just ask them. I'm sure they'll be happy to tell you. So, like I said,
next caller, click.
What was that deal?
No, I'm kidding. I said, all right, next caller, click.
So and then another one had his knee in my neck, and then the rest of them were like hitting me in the side. One of them was pulling my arm up behind my back, like trying to break the arm. And dude, I was doing everything I could to keep from getting a bone broken. So the next thing you know, I just wake up and I'm under the bench in the cell, naked, and my clothes are folded over to the side. And I was like, what just happened? And I was in total shock. And I never pursued it because, of course, back in those days, cops were honest.
Right.
And there was no, people didn't have cell phones. And I don't know if they had cameras in the cell or not. I never pursued it. I was more afraid, like, of retaliation. Because of where I live, they're not exactly the nicest people here. But, yeah, that was my big...
I'm so sorry that happened to you. You mentioned that it was back in the day, right? And it did take a while for people to catch on. Like, for a while, it was just those people who go to jail. It seems like the cops play a cat and mouse game where once they know you, they pick you up for any reason. It doesn't even matter. And, like... you're just bait to them. They're there fishing, and they're picking up people and putting them in the cells. And if you're one of the knowns, one of the people they know, then they'll really kick your ass, and they'll do it all the time, and they'll abuse the hell out of you. There was nothing that people like you could have done back in the day because no one believed you, right?
Right, no one would have believed me at the time, and I called internal affairs or tried, they would like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But
well, I appreciate the call. I'm gonna try and take the next caller. Caller, you are on Cop Block Radio.
Hey, it's Dylan.
Hey, Dylan.
Hey, Dylan Donnelly, our next contributor for this week.
All right, terrific. Stay on the line, Dylan. We want to hear from you. When we come back, we've got Dylan Donnelly, contributor to CopBlock.org. I want to thank the previous caller. He didn't give a special name or anything, but he knows who he is. And
Hey, if you can get his information, Derek, I owe him a set of stickers.
okay, I will do that. This is Cop Block Radio. We'll be right back.
LRN.FM needs your help getting our satellite signal back on in Africa. Our satellite provider had us on at no charge from 2012 through February of this year when they pulled the channel off the air. Now we're trying to raise $22,000 to continue reaching people with the message of liberty in places where it's needed most. Please visit our Indiegogo fundraiser at africa.lrn.fm. Give what you can and share the link with your friends. africa.lrn.fm.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it. You cannot make signs around.
Hey, Dylan, can you call back in 2 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Hey.
Hey, is there a way you want me to send this info to you so Dio can hook me up? Or?
Yeah, that'd be great.
If you can message your address.
Yeah, you can message us either. You can text the phone number that you're calling now. You can send
text message.
Yeah, you can private message me in the chat room that you were just in.
Okay.
You can just message me at dio@copblock.org.
Or
okay, sounds good.
Or you can email Dio, DEO at copblock.org.
Yeah.
You got it.
Any of those work for you?
No, do mine because I got to send them out to him anyway.
All right, so Dio says email him, DEO.
No problem, I got you, Dio.
All right, rock on.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Right on, man. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yep.
All right, good. And we should have Dylan calling back in. Can he get on Skype?
Who, Dylan?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't. Was he trying to call in the phone number?
He did call in on the phone number.
Okay. Let me see if let me message him real quick. Can you Skype?
Can you Skype, sir? Can you Skype? Oh, cool.
Understand that our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
DVD, books, music, instruments, periodicals, computers, software, electronics, photo, cell phone, office products, home and garden, bed and bath, furniture, kitchen, pet supplies, automotive, hardware, apparel, shoes, jewelry, grocery, healthcare, sports and outdoors, toys, games, used, and more.
I told him to request Cop Block Radio if he can.
Shop.lrn.fm.
Rad.
Get all your shopping done. Get a great deal, and a portion of your purchase goes to benefit the Liberty Radio Network when you shop at Amazon via shop.lrn.fm.
Here's a breaking medical legal alert. Attention, users of the diabetes drug Actos. If you or a loved one has taken Actos, then developed bladder cancer, or if a loved one has died from bladder cancer after taking Actos, you may be entitled to significant financial compensation from the pharmaceutical giants who made these drugs. Our experienced attorneys are dedicated to help.
Someone wrote to me, is Ian okay? Is he eating well? Is his butt sore from last night?
In your case, if you or a loved one
And it's in all caps, so that's why I'm screaming.
worse after taking the diabetes drug Actos, call right now and learn your legal rights. This is an advertisement not valid in all states. I am a paid non-attorney spokesperson. Call the tort attorneys 24/7 right now. 800.
Tyler's calling back in.
924 800.
Check. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, what's up?
We're coming back in 3 seconds.
All right.
Get LRN.FM into more ears.
Tyler or Dylan?
LRN.FM.
Oh, what did I
for free
say?
Bumper sticker, flyer,
Dylan.
banners,
I meant
graphics, and
Dylan.
more. Promote LRN.FM.
CopBlockRadio. Welcome back. We're live. It is Wednesday, May 13th, 2015, and we're joined by CopBlock.org contributor Dylan. I'm forgetting your last name. Dylan, introduce yourself. Donnelly, thank you. It's one of those complicated
Dylan
ones.
Donnelly.
Yes, thank you, Dylan. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm out here in Fresno, California, and
You're out there with Brian Sumner, huh?
Exactly, yeah. We we film the cops together and write stories, and we've been doing our thing out here for a while, and now we're contributing with Cop Block, and so that's cool.
Cool, man. How long you been involved?
Probably the last year or two, maybe. It's a gradual process. We started protesting wars and stuff. That's how me and Brian met, and then we just had a lot in common, and we just kind of gradually just started filming cops.
So here on the East Coast, we get a lot of criticism when you protest anything. Anyone who has a cause pretty much is some kind of loser who doesn't have a job, is what most people think. But in
Why don't you just leave them alone?
What's that deal?
Why don't you just leave them alone?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what you're saying. It could have a sign that says, I love ice cream, and people will be like, fuck you, get a job. But but what about in Fresno, California? I imagine the environment is a little more conducive to political protests, to police accountability, to anti-war materials. Is it cool?
It could be. It kind of depends. Depends on where you're at. Because we get that same sentiment to here too. People flip you off and they can't even read the sign.
Yeah,
but
they just are mad. Like that guy,
that's everywhere.
He is spending time doing something that's not normal, fall in line with the rest of society. So I got to criticize him and bring him down. It's this what's that called? Like slave on slave violence, where
you could call it that.
Yeah. So you've been involved. You started with anti-war stuff. That's how you met Brian Sumner. Do you video record the cops? What's your main gear? What do you pack?
Yeah, we record them. I actually have quite a bit of gear. I live stream with my phone. I have a DSLR camera if I want to take some nice photos.
Whoa, cool.
Get a close-up or something.
Does it just do photos or does it do video as well?
It does video too.
Sick, man. You've got some good material.
Yeah, so I travel around with some gear and always I heard you talking about bamboos earlier. I use a live stream, and I always tell people that's a must.
Yeah, but does live stream? Can you connect it to Facebook?
Yeah, you can connect it to Facebook.
Okay, cool.
I usually just when I'm streaming, I'm not really even intending to broadcast it. I just want to save the footage because the phone fills up with footage really quick, and then I don't have any space.
Mm-hmm.
So,
especially when you're shooting in HD. Yeah, you don't get as much. You used to get with the older phones, you would get like a half an hour to an hour on 3 gigabytes or 2 gigabytes worth of space. When you're shooting HD video, you get like a half an hour. That's it.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like the phones say they have more space, but they still don't hold shit. So
it's a lot more because it's a lot bigger files that you're talking about. That's why.
Yeah.
Where can people find the material that you produced?
Cop Block Fresno on Facebook, CopBlockFresno.org. Fresno People's Media is another website that I write different stuff on, and you can find me there.
Okay. What will people find?
Yeah, he's on Free Fresno, yeah.
Free Fresno.
You don't you do
that one's Brian Sumner's channel, right?
Don't you have stuff on there though too?
Yeah, Sumner's channel is Free Fresno. He does a lot more of the YouTube stuff, and so okay. I mean I have a channel, Dylan Donnelly on YouTube. A lot of my videos are up there.
There we go.
Good. I want to subscribe to it.
Yeah.
Is there a link to it from your website?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, that's all right. But okay, so it's Dylan Donnelly on YouTube. The website is CopBlockFresno.org.
That's right.
There was one other that you mentioned. Oh,
Fresno
the Facebook
People's
page.
Media.
Oh, and Fresno. Man, you got a lot of channels going on.
Yeah, I know. Well, I like to write, we have other content on the People's Media one, not just cop stuff,
How do you separate it all? Is there like we only put this kind of material on one thing, or is it all over the?
Well, there's cop stuff all over the place, but I'm not gonna write about like say the environment or something on Cop Block,
Yeah, but that's something that you're also passionate about.
Well, I have contributors that are passionate about different causes, so.
What are some of the other causes? I mean, this is Cop Block Radio. We're primarily interested in police accountability stuff, but what other things are you interested in?
Homelessness, stuff like that,
Well, how about let's talk about the anti-drug war that you're into with the article that you wrote on CopBlock.org about the Massachusetts Police Department no longer arresting drug addicts.
Yeah, that's a big one. I feel like that's really a big issue with not just police accountability, but really ending the systemic issue with the institution of police oppressing people,
Yeah.
How many people are in prison for drug offenses? If we could kind of reverse that sentiment, that'd be great,
Well, like you say here in the article too, drug laws in America not only fail to stop drug abuse, they're an assault on civil liberties and basic human rights. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you get your stop and frisk and your no-knock raids and all this crap that's going on, and like, that shit would never happen without a drug war.
Yeah, see, a lot of these interactions with police wouldn't happen if you just didn't have these laws outlawing drugs.
I mean, a lot of them talk about
steal your money.
Yeah,
They'll steal your money one way or another if they start using it for treatments or whatever. I'm not gonna really diss them on that because it's better than paying for all the tanks and shit.
What sort of relationship have you developed with the police that you record?
Well, for the most part, they're pretty cool with us. Now, at first they were kind of dicks, and it seems like, they all kind of know us by name. Even if we don't know them, they know who we are. So they, I think from the top down, they're kind of told to leave us alone because we're going to put them on YouTube and, make them look bad. So to kind of give us our space.
Do you know any of their names? Do they know you?
We know a few of their names. I don't we don't talk to them too much, but they'll, they come up to Brian, hey, Mr. Sumner and Mr. Donnelly and shit like that. And we're just like,
What do you call them?
Okay.
Do you know their names?
I forget one of them's name is like fucking Stan or something. And those ones we'll call them by name, but the other ones are just, cop or whatever.
This is Cop Block Radio. Cool. So we just went to a break. We have 4 minutes, and then we will return. How you feeling?
I'm good.
All right, good. I'm loose. I'm all good. I'm going to get some more water. If you want to do that, now's a good time. Take a toke, do a shot, whatever you got to do.
All right.
And we will be back at, you're on the West Coast, so it's at 8:33.
8:33. All right.
Worms.
Freedom Minute and Peace Love Liberty Radio at fppradio.com and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
On LRN.FM, we talk a lot about alternative currencies. Did you know that now you can buy gold, silver, and other precious metals with Bitcoins? LRN.FM has partnered with Amaji Metals to bring you great prices on beautiful .999 fine silver, as well as gold, platinum, and other metals. Check out their selection and pay with Bitcoins or Federal Reserve notes at metal.lrn.fm. That's metal.lrn.fm. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe, like I said.
Hey, Theo, one of the guys in the chat room was asking, where's the other guy who does Cop Block Radio and he had a beard? He's not talking about you. Is he talking about Eric Rock?
I think Eric, yeah. Eric always had a beard, right?
Yeah, he always had a beard. Well, what about Scott? We'd never had him on video, right?
I don't think Scott does video.
Yeah, so we wouldn't know if he has a beard.
I think he does, but we wouldn't know by seeing him.
Yeah.
That's amp.freetalklive.com.
Did you know that you can listen to LRN.FM 24/7 via our free-to-air satellite channel? From Mexico to Canada, our signal covers nearly all of North America. All you need is a view of the southern sky, an affordable receiver, and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you're a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage map and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm.
Are you looking for an excuse to come check out?
Shoot, I forgot to get water. I'll be right back.
You're invited to Keenvention. Keenvention is your chance to meet dozens of key liberty activists from across the Shire. You can explore the beautiful little city of Keene, discuss various forms of activism with seasoned veterans, do some Robin Hooding, and learn about making the move. Keenvention received rave reviews last year. If you missed it, visit keenvention.info for full video coverage of every speaker and panel. This year's keynote speeches and panels will be announced via the Keenvention blog and Facebook, so stay tuned there for the latest. Join old and new friends and neighbors in Keene for Keenvention this October 30th through November 1st. Tickets are available now at a special early bird price of just $50 via credit card or Bitcoin. That $50 price only lasts through the end of June, so don't delay. Reserve your tickets now at keenvention.info. Visit keenvention.info for more and look for our page on Facebook. That's keenvention.info.
Here we go.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Cop Block Radio. Check us out, copblock.org. We're live on video, copblock.org/show. There's also a chat room built into the webpage, and it's very lively. We have some beautiful people over there sharing videos and talking not always about what we're talking about, so go check out their stuff. They're just as much part of the show as we are. Here we've got a guest, Dylan Donnelly of Fresno, California, Cop Block. He takes pictures and has a website at CopBlockFresno.org, also a YouTube channel, Dylan Donnelly. So check him out. I always appreciate that there's a person in a major city holding the police accountable, getting to know them. He says that the police know his name. I want to know, what's your attitude on calling the cops?
Well, I mean, I think it probably depends on the situation. A lot of times, even if you call a paramedic, you can't control whether the cops come or not. But I typically would advise not calling the cops.
Why?
Because, they're really, there's lots of evidence that they're not going to be rational reactors. And it's going to make the situation a lot more dangerous than it probably was before.
Because they kill people, Derek.
Yeah, I know, but I'm asking like, hey, give me a little more on that.
Well, don't call the cops; they might kill you.
Please expound.
Have you ever called the cops before and bad things happened?
No, I've never actually been in a situation where bad things happened, but I remember in the past calling the cops and then just not really responding either. Car gets broken into and nothing comes of it or anything. So it's really just, I would just say don't call them.
So what do you do in the event of an emergency where a person would typically call 911? What does Dylan do?
Well, I would say it's about community building, having people to get in touch with to help the situation out. I hear you advocate the Peacekeeper app.
Do you use it?
There's people around you. I don't, because I don't think there's anyone around here that uses it.
Well, it's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, it does have to start somewhere, and perhaps I should download it.
Yeah, you start your own circle, man.
If people aren't familiar, the Peacekeeper app is something I also keep on the main screen of my phone here.
Yeah.
And it looks like this when you open it up. It's got 4 major buttons for medical emergencies. I got to look at it. Intruder, fire, and abduction. You can also report an emergency for a neighbor. And what this does is it does not call the police. Instead, it alerts other people who have this app, who have joined similar groups to you in your area. So, for example, here in Keene, we've got a Keeniacs group where people can respond to emergencies. And then it immediately puts you in a chat room with those other people who have responded to the call. So if I'm several blocks away, or perhaps I'm on vacation out of town, I can say I can't get there, and Chris Cantwell can respond, I'm on my way with a machete, or I'm on my way with a big bucket of water. Whatever it is the emergency, you can respond and have your friends appear rather than the police.
It's funny. I should actually. I gotta commend you guys in Keene, Derek. You gave us credit in Ohio before about holding shit down with the police accountability and stuff, but it's good in Ohio. We getting used to filming the police and stuff and doing things like that. But you guys got the numbers in Keene. I'm telling you, like you got 1 guy shows up, 9 guys show up. It's beautiful. That's one of the beautiful things about it. I mean, like I could go out there and I'll be out there alone most times, but.
Yeah.
You guys have the numbers to be able to back each other up, which is a great thing to have.
Well, it's been going on for a lot of years. It's been like 10 years of a migration, people moving to New Hampshire for more freedom, and Keene is one of the more popular destinations. I got to say, one of the reasons why Keene is so effective at responding to emergencies is in part due to this old technology, the radio. I've got a little 2-way radio. I'm able to make a call out to my friends if anything were to happen. I could do a quick radio check now and get a response back letting me know that my radio is working. This will go for miles in clear distance, and we even have a repeater set up here in Keene, so it goes even further and people can pick it up in longer distances. But for example, if I'm out walking or if I'm pulled over and I've got this in my car, I just say I've been pulled over on the corner of River and Leverett, and boom, there's people out responding to the call if they can. So what is old is new again. So get yourself one of these radios. You don't have to spend a lot. A typical 2-way radio will cost you less than $10 for a pair of them that you can get at Walmart. If you want a better one, this cost me $35 on Amazon. So I mean, and this will do a lot more channels. So get yourself a 2-way radio. If you do cop blocking, I'm sure Dylan, you and name escapes me. What's the other guy's? Brian Sumner.
Brian, yeah.
Just having a couple of 2-ways to connect you guys does a lot. If one of you gets arrested for some reason, of course, we always want to live stream, but this is even faster than pushing a button on your phone or opening up an app. Those things can fail.
Yeah.
A radio is hardware, it's not software like an app is. And so it's a lot more fail-proof.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. I know my man Robert out in Sandusky's got a pair of those, but He's only got the one pair, and they're out in Sandusky. So we use them when we're out there, though. Like we're gonna go do bike week in a couple of weeks, and we're gonna be using those out there.
So you really, you've been on the ground cop blocking in Fresno for about 2 years, you say. Has this affected your life, friends, and family in any way?
Oh, sure. There's always people that love the cops, and they're going to take offense to shit you say, but other than that, it's not too much. I still
has anyone disowned you?
No. I'm not sure if they have. They haven't told me. Maybe they did. So I'm not worried about it.
You're usually the last one to know when that happens.
Right. I'm sure people unfriend me or whatever, and it's not my concern. I know like what I'm doing, and
Do you cop block on a regular basis? Do you make it every Saturday night I'm going to go out to the college neighborhood and I'm going to go film them, or I'm going to hand out flyers? What's your regular plan, or do you have one?
We try. Sometimes there'll be a period of time where we don't do anything, but then, other weeks we'll get out like once a week and go out and wherever we think the cops are going to be, wherever there's always some kind of activity going on, either whether it's the fair or the cruise night on Easter. Tons of people cruise Blackstone Avenue, so they come down and shut down the road, and so that makes it easy.
What do you use to find out where the police are? Is there a police scanner that you listen to? Do you use an app like Waze to find out where they're hiding out?
Yeah, I have a police scanner app on my phone that we listen to. And just listen to the channel, hear the chatter, and they'll usually tell us where they are.
All right.
You guys go block checkpoints at all?
What's that?
You guys go block checkpoints at all?
We've talked about it a lot, and Brian's done it on individual times when you come across one.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times they're hard to find.
All right, time for plugs. Plug your website.
CopBlockFresno.org.
All right, our guest has been Dylan Donnelly. I want to thank you for your time tonight. Thank you for being out there cop blocking. When we come back, Revolution News is reporting shit's going down in Minneapolis. We've got the story for you live tonight here on Cop Block Radio.
Cool.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thank you.
Rock on.
When I found the Free State Project, I knew it was the key to achieving liberty in my lifetime. It's awesome, surrounded by like-minded, freedom-loving activists who've moved here to New Hampshire. From politics to...
Hey, Derek, like if you want to maybe take
perhaps you feel the same.
The Cop Block Radio, the Google Drive thing, the doc that we got going on there, if you want to maybe like, I was just thinking maybe write down some of these generic questions that maybe we should ask like everybody.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah. How has it affected your life and your family? I think is what people could answer.
That's what made me think of it, actually. That was the question that made me think of it. But I think if we write it down, then maybe you don't have to do it all the time, all of it. I can jump in and grab one or two here and there.
Sorry, man. It's my it's my
I'm saying to like give you a break.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I didn't mean. I felt like I was jumping on top of you, like maybe you had questions and I intervened or something.
No, absolutely not. You got a flair for doing it, so keep doing it. But I'm just saying, if you don't want to do it, if you want to take a break, I can. If I know what to ask.
All right, I'll put it in the notes.
Yeah.
Rad.
Yeah, just like the common ones that we want to ask, like all the contributors say or whatever,
Yeah. And I'll add Cantwell's story from tonight. Well, killed somebody.
Post pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click get notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
I think it'll help too for when you're getting the one-word answers and shit like that, and you're not expecting to get that one-word answer.
Right. Yeah. I want to have something ready right behind it.
Yeah.
Good point.
Why stop there? Sweeten up the rest of the year by designating monthly dessert days. Treat your family to one of their favorites or surprise them with something new. Either way, you'll create a tradition everyone will love. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
There are two types of advertising. Pull advertising, like Google AdWords, where a consumer goes looking for widgets near them and you try to pull them in with your ad away from the other widget purveyors. And there's push advertising, where you push your message out about your great widgets and attempt to convince people
All right.
who weren't thinking about
I just posted almost 10 questions, so
okay,
that should be good to get us started.
Yeah.
We come back in 30 seconds. And when we do come back, Minneapolis police just moments ago indiscriminately used pepper spray on dozens of people. I'm going to try and find this video.
Where are you getting at?
Right now, Revolution News posted it 24 minutes ago, apparently, on Facebook. So I can pull that up real quick.
savings, and you don't want to miss it. Email me, Mark, at freetalklive.com now.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
We're back on CopBlock Radio every Wednesday here at 10 o'clock Eastern on LRN.FM. What's up, Derek?
Worms! I'm doing good. Hey, we've got an ad that I like to run occasionally that we haven't played yet for our listeners today. We played it during the break, but I figure might as well play it for our listeners live on the air. What do you think, Dio?
Sure. Let it rip.
Oh, Google is telling me an error occurred. Please try again later. Well, all right. All right, Google. Thanks for nothing. We will try it again later. And in the meantime, I will share this story with you about dozens of people, including children, being pepper sprayed in Minneapolis. Oops, here's the video. CopBlock.org/store to get cool gear like this. This Who Owns You shirt.
And this, and this, and this.
Yes.
Shiny badge is now available.
I think it's something that makes you a little bit safer because it makes you stand out. It shows the police sort of what you're doing. They're wearing a uniform, and I'm not suggesting that cop blockers wear a uniform, but it does help to differentiate, what are people doing on this scene? I think it makes the police feel a little more comfortable with people recording them. New shiny badges, CopBlock.org/store. Peace.
Boom.
Well, I wish I had more to report on for you here this evening, but according to Revolution News, and that's oops. That's all we've got is a report saying Minneapolis police just moments ago indiscriminately used pepper spray on dozens of people, including children, at an otherwise very peaceful solidarity protest for Tony Robinson that had marched for over 2 hours. People are still marching despite the violence. And Revolution News will update us as more info becomes available. And I do have some images to share with you. This first image is a man in a police uniform, clearly pepper spraying a peaceful person. Here's the next image of the victims of these pepper sprays, suffering and being helped by others engaged in the protest. Here's one of the brave men in uniform who's standing there with his weapon, spraying
Sergeant
protesters.
Bag.
And he's got that lovely mustache, Super Troopers style mustache, just to prove how cool he is. It goes so well with his beer gut. And
Sergeant
finally,
Shitbag.
he keeps saying, "Why do they do this to me?" As a young black man is maced in the eyes. And this says, just got maced along with others, including a 10-year-old little boy, screaming as I carried him to a hotel lobby. Wow. That from the Twitter feed of light-skinned Tyrese at the King Job. So, wow. Just crazy what's going on right now. We got other stories to share with you this evening. What else we got, Dio? You had a couple of things lined up in the show.
I was
didn't even get to.
Well, I wanted to go back on what the article that Pete had turned in there, because we didn't get to his second piece of advice, which was using an app like Bamboozer. You can read what you can go to copblock.org and read what he wrote about the rest of it, but it just goes to show what we're saying here is that to be ready to film the police with something like Bamboozer if you feel like you're going to be arrested or something's going to happen, and to not talk to police if you don't have to. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, the basic two things to do, that's it, really. When you break it down to its base elements, those are it. Those are the two base elements. So just keep all that in mind. And let's see what else we got here. We got a whole website full of stuff.
Well, Bamboozer has been a terrific app. I know it's been a lifesaver for many of the activists here in Keene. Ian used it most recently during a pullover stop, which I shared on copblock.org a few weeks ago. That was a friendly encounter with the police officer. Police are generally pretty friendly here in New Hampshire. I think part of that stems from the fact that they know that many of us are armed. And not that
I love that, by the way. I just love that, by the way. That's like my favorite part of it too, because like I can't do it. I got a felony on my record, so I can't like carry a firearm unless I get that expunged or whatever. But I just love the fact that just to see the extra, it's just like, oh, pardon me, pardon me. It's like a civil. it's more of a civil interaction when everybody knows that everybody's packing.
Yeah, it's just a different kind of mentality up here. I don't think that they're afraid of people with guns. That's the thing. It's like a lot of people think, oh, well, they're treating you nice because they're afraid you might shoot them. And maybe they are. But generally, I think it's that they're comfortable around people with guns because that's the mentality around here. Ian was making a point early on Free Talk Live that when cops in New Hampshire ask you about your firearm, it's not because they're about to arrest you. It's because they're genuinely curious. Oh, so what are you carrying? And do you like that Glock? And what model is it? And they're curious because they might get one themselves.
That's what I mean. It almost puts it almost. I hate this. It almost like puts you on their level at that point. They feel like they're dealing with an equal at that point, as opposed to dealing with someone that they really don't want to be dealing with.
Yeah,
it makes a common ground to have a conversation.
I like to say I embody the porcupine as my spirit animal because they're friendly. They leave everyone alone, but you don't want to fuck with them. They do have their self-defense. And LRN Newbie 066 in the chat points out, Dio, move to New Hampshire and you can carry a machete. Did you know that?
I can carry a machete here too, but
okay.
You like here around here though, the knife laws are even more fucked up than the gun laws. It's almost like you could walk around with a gun strapped to your waist around here, but God forbid you should have a Leatherman in your pocket. It's the same retarded stance that Ohio takes on the drug war, because it's like you get in more trouble around here for the paraphernalia than you do for the fucking pot. So you go to jail for the pipe, they let you go for the weed. Like it's the same kind of stupid mentality. It drives me crazy sometimes.
am sure there are no restrictions on walk around with a lawnmower blade on your hip if you wanted. It doesn't matter.
Some people call it a sling blade.
Guy in Washington who was arrested, I think it was even shot. Totally legal to walk around with a katana like you're some kind of samurai. So I did a call out to the chat for some video of what's going on in mini news feed. Has some video, and I will share that with you, the listeners. In the protesters sprayed by police. Here, what am I missing, Dio? Why am I not seeing video?
I don't know.
Where is it? Am I doing it wrong?
Wait.
Here's the. I'm missing something. I'm doing Twitter wrong, apparently. Like, how can you have a tweet that says breaking video
and not have a video?
And then not link to the video? Is anyone like, I'm scrolling down, I'm looking around. Okay, we got a pic. Twit pic. Okay. All right.
Wait a minute.
Nothing.
What's that link?
I know you tried.
That's that link.
That's just that's nothing.
Oh.
Keep trying, chat room. I need an actual video, not
Bring
just
it up.
just the Twitter. Anyway, I appreciate it. This is a live show. That's one of the problems with doing a live show. All right. Okay. Good. Well, anyway. Let's recap tonight. We've learned you don't have to talk to the police unless you're being suspected of having committed a crime. And even then, the police have to have reasonable, articulable... It's so hard to say that. Reasonable, articulable suspicion that you have committed a crime. And as soon as they do, as soon as you see cops, I mean, my reaction is to pull out my phone and start recording. Who knows? Maybe you're going to do nothing with that video. That's the absolute worst thing that could happen is, oh my God, I did nothing with the video I just recorded. But the best thing that could happen is it could save your life. It could vindicate you like it did Chris Cantwell and make sure that he ends up free with the police handing his gun back to him after this encounter and sending him back home rather than ending up in cuffs and waking up in jail.
Absolutely, brother.
Well, this has been Cop Block Radio. I want to thank all of our listeners and the people in the chat room who make it so lively. And thank you, Dio. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Derek.
We'll do this again next Wednesday.
A new report
Same time.
Health and Human Services.
Worms. All right, cool. So I don't know why that video just didn't appear. Sucks, but whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, to the people who are still watching this video, go to the store, the CopBlock store. You can get cool gear like what Dio's got behind you. CopBlock.org/store for sweatpants, badges, t-shirts, and long sleeve shirts.
Hoodies, hats, bandanas coming soon.
All the gear.
All the best shit comes through me, baby.
All right, everybody, stay free. Don't talk to cops. And always record. Peace.
Peace. Badges don't grant extra rights.